Our finance minister presented the 2026 budget today, but the markets reacted sharply, where the market was down 1,500 points. Okay, this is the Sensex. It was down 5,500 points. Why was the Sensex down? What was presented in the budget? I will touch base upon the most important things which can affect most of them. I want like touch base upon the schemes that the government has got. You can refer that online for details if you're interested, but I will like touch base upon a few basic points. First one, securities transaction tax. Securities transaction tax, most of the traders, most of the people who trade in the stock market expected the security transaction tax, which is popularly known as STT, to be reduced, but instead the finance minister increased it. What was the increase? Options was the tax rate was increased from 0.1% to 0.15%. For futures, it was 0.02% to 0.05%. Also, they have taxed the promoters, where if you buy back the shares, it will be treated as capital gain, and then you will be liable to tax. What we need to appreciate here is there has been a lot of speculative trading, especially the post-COVID era, and a lot of youngsters are losing like money in the market without actually understanding the risk and how options and futures work. This will act like a layer where it will discourage the traders, the new traders, or okay, not the institutional traders, to not enter into the options and the futures market, only because it is extremely risky. So while the market will not support it, but it's like good from a economy like standpoint, especially for the youngster. Second one, there was like one thing which was not mentioned, which was about the gold, but it was there in this budget. It relates to the SGBs. SGBs are nothing but sovereign gold bonds. Previously, if you purchased SGBs from your demat account and you sold it, whatever the gain on that, and you okay, held it for a particular period and then you sold it, whatever the gain on that was not taxable. But now that rule is set to change. Only when you are the original allottee and the bonds are allotted from the RBI and you hold it for the period of like 5 years, that is when it is not taxable. If you pick it up from the secondary market, which is basically your demat account, it becomes taxable. What this will do, this will basically decrease the liquidity in the market. We will have to see the effect it will have on the sovereign gold bond trading, SGB trading basically. Thirdly, cryptos. India as a country has like never been like supportive about like cryptos, so the law is only made stringent. All the crypto exchanges have to inform the government about the trades that is taking place, ensuring that PAN card is in compliance. If you give misinformation, you are fined 50,000 rupees for disclosing like wrongful information, and if you don't disclose information, there is a fine of 200 rupees per day. The fourth one, usually for NRIs, for any transaction they wanted to do, it was done through a tax account number, like popularly like known as TAN, like somebody call it temporary account number, like whatever it is, through a TAN, like, but that is set to change now. Even if you're dealing with a NRI, you can present only the PAN, so the like residence PAN, and the seller who's an NRI, his PAN like, can be like presented, and then the transaction can be done. Okay, that is like one small change. Next one, there has been no change in income taxes. Okay, the income tax rate remains the same, while India as a country was expecting increase in income taxes, or at least giving more benefit to people who are going with the new scheme, but that hasn't happened in the current year's budget. Foreign assets disclosures. So the government is going to give you a window of 6 months. If you haven't disclosed your foreign assets can be your ESOPs, your RSUs. If you have purchased any property, any foreign asset, if you have missed to disclose previously, please ensure that you disclose in that like 6-month window to be compliant. In terms of the due dates for income tax, like there has been a slight change. If you are a salaried person, your due date remains like July 31st. But if you are a salaried person with also business income, and it is a non-audit cases, you don't fall into the tax audit like bracket, then your due date is August 31st. For companies who do not have transfer pricing applicable, October 31st is the due date. And for companies who have transfer pricing applicable, November 30th is the due date. What we also need to note is that belated returns due date remains December 31st, but revised return, which was December 31st this year, has been changed to March 31st, which means they're giving you 3 more months extra window to go ahead and revise your return, of course with a small penalty, where the penalty is like 1,000 rupees if your like tax liability is like below 5 lakh, and 5,000 rupees if your tax liability is like greater than 5 lakh rupees. Okay, so that's the major change. Overall, the budget was a disappointment because they did not like touch upon healthcare. They did not like touch upon defense after Operation Sindoor. The expectation from the market was the defense budget will be increased, like considering how the geopolitics are taking shape. We expected like defense. Another important thing, what the budget presented is they gave a tax holiday to any foreign company who is setting up data centers in India up till 2047. Okay, that is a good thing, where we see the AI boom and a lot of companies like wanting to set up data centers. We saw that the first one, Google has invested in Andhra Pradesh. I think it's Vijayawada or like Vishakhapatnam, where Google is opening their data centers. Okay, so this is good news. But overall, I think the budget was a disappointment. The topics like such as employment of the youth, manufacturing abilities of India, like that has been not considered in the budget. Let's see how the market reacts this year, and how the economic growth is affected by this budget. Thank you for watching. Hope this was useful.